Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. Still trying to get some things set up here. My kids decided to use my computer, and well, you know, things break, things move, getting things underway. Now, anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this game. This game is going to be between Blade and Dise, taking place here on Tyrannus Strands. Oh my gosh, can't even say things properly this morning. Alright, so over here on the top left-hand side, we have Dise spawning as the blue Night Elf, going up against Blade, playing under the name Unique as the yellow human. Now, one thing I will compliment Blizzard on, and this was something that I actually, there was a feedback survey written released many years ago after the introduction of WarCraft 3 Reforged. And one of the things that particularly annoyed me was the fact that they had to patch the game so much, and that your replays didn't work, even though there were no balance changes, and it was just like small bug fixes, things like that, and somehow the replays would still not work, even though there's no reason for the replay not to work, right? Oh, we changed the footprints on a unit in game. Oh, your replay doesn't work, and I had said. It's difficult for professional players to play the game, to analyze their replays, to get better if every week their replays were just broken. And apparently they took that to heart. I believe this is like the fourth patch since the Reforged 2.0 was released, and the replays still seem to be working. So hopefully that is all going to be good news for us. They can patch the game, fix the game, not release balance changes, and still, give us something decent. I mean, that was a major problem. I'm glad that they were able to solve it. It was particularly annoying when I would try and play through the campaign, and my campaign saves wouldn't work, right? Like, oh, my kids need me, I need to make dinner. Here, let me save my game in the campaign in this 25-minute mission. And no, the replay doesn't work anymore because footprints. Yeah, something silly like that. Anyways, Blade opening things up with a Mountain King first, picks up a potion of greater mana, clearing out this mercenary creep camp. Meanwhile, Warden first, classic Warden here on Tyrannus Stand. We know how powerful that Warden can be with that fan of knives, diving in on creep camps and, clearing things up pretty quickly. Forest Troll Shadow Priest also picked up as well. We're looking at a Footman. The Footman could take a Shadow Strike. No, doesn't take a Shadow Strike as the Warden now makes its way down. Mountain King also clearing up those additional Apprentice Wizards as well. Mountain King at level 2 does also have a Mantle of Intelligence, but the question may be who is able to creep faster. The Warden, known for her mobility, can really cause a lot of problems on this map. Just because you're able to blink across rivers and distances like that. Meanwhile, our Mountain King gonna make its way over, perhaps go after this Forest Troll High Priest, gonna get a quick Storm Bolt onto the Forest Troll High Priest, try to make sure that it doesn't give inner fire to anyone, and that's exactly what Blade wanted to see. Storm Bolt followed by a Bash, ensuring that there's no inner fire on any target, making it so that this creep camp is significantly easier to clear out. Mountain King will get to level 3 pretty much on the money here, and he may be going for level 2 Stormbolt as he sells the Pure Up Vitality, picks up Boots of Speed, sold another item, picks up Dust of Appearance, and also has a Staff of Teleportation. Mountain King ready to teleport off to the north now, and he's going to Stormbolt. No, does not Stormbolt the Warden, as I originally would have thought. The Warden was down to half life, but the Mountain King does not Stormbolt the Warden, oddly enough. He just got off to the north, made a long trek, and then didn't capitalize on anything. All right, a little bit of a misstep here. Let's see, we're going to see a Stormbolt engagement. Mountain King simply just running by. Warden also with those Boots of Speed. Who would win out in a battle? Armor versus hit points. And right now, I think the Mountain King could win this scuffle, but it is a little bit close to home for Dise, so reinforcements would be reinforcing there. Meanwhile, it looks like the Mountain King is purposely just buying time by having the Mountain King run around. He is able to cause some problems. There's a Stormbolt there, there's a Bash there, and you can see a little bit of damage being done onto that Warden once more. All right, more damage being dealt. Is the Warden going to be able to get away? Warden takes another Stormbolt there, down to 227. There's another Bash. Staff of Teleportation. And now, is he going to get another Lucky Bash? No, he is not. So I guess that the Bash bashed at the wrong time. If it was able to actually shut down that Staff of Teleportation, that would have been extremely bad news for the Warden, who's able to teleport back home, get some health from those Moonwells, and now try to clear up the remainder here. Mountain King may be able to snipe down the Forest Troll Berserker. Is he going to be able to catch up? Oh! Staff of Preservation saves the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, and Moonwells save the Forest Troll Berserker. A big deal right there. And the fact that that was a brilliant deduction by Dise. Dise saw the Forest Troll Shadow Priest low on hit points, but only with 200 hit points. Or less than 200 hit points. The Forest Troll Berserker really looked like it was about to get Stormbolted, and I believe many players would have thought, you know what, the Forest Troll Berserker is going to be the one that gets Stormbolted. It is the higher priority target. It does have more damage, and it costs more, but well, being able to quickly staff up preservation, the proper unit. Tree of Ages now coming back across. Warden purposely scrolls of Town Portal back in. Stormbolt, Staff of Preservation again, but the Staff of Preservation doesn't work nearly as well when the fight is in your base. Mountain King gets in another bash right there. You could try and use a Potion of Mana and finish things off here. One more. Oh, there's another bash again. Trying to finish off this Forest Troll Berserker, fighting units while inside a wall of Moonwells. Perhaps not the right thing to do, as the Mountain King looks to get away now. All right, Boots of Speed slowly trekking away. Warden does have Boots of Speed as well. Remember, the Warden does have Fan of Knives. We saw that AoE effect, how effective it was there as the Mountain King tries to come back around. Is he going to go after the Forest Troll Berserker? No. Wand of Mana Stealing, removing that Precious, and the Mountain King comes back around. Oh, there's a Stormbolt, uses the Wand of Mana Stealing, and now trying to get another hit, and nope, doesn't. Staff of Preservation for the save again. Mountain King should be able to get a Stormbolt off on this guy. There's a Stormbolt. The Staff of Preservation was still on cooldown, as the Mountain King now needs to teleport away. All right, after all of that craziness, though, the Mountain King is still all right. Remember, the Mountain King was purposely just buying time to be able to get these guard towers up. Tech to tier 2 is nearly done. Wow, all the trees down on the southern side have already been cleared, and we're looking at some footmen retreating back. Mountain King sitting at level 3 here. We're going to look at, Footman, Goblin Shredder. The Footman took actually quite a bit of damage. Kobold, Geomancer going to get cleaned up here. Mountain King, Clarity Potion already coming to an end. Still healing up a bit from that Scroll of Regeneration. And now Kobold Taskmaster going to get cleaned up here. Warden may dive in, may be able to get off a big Fan of Knives. There it is. There's level 4. And does he pick up the item? I believe he does. All right. Being forced to use the Goblin Zeppelin, pick up the units, and the Warden's going to clean up the remainder of the creep camps here. A beautiful opportunity as Dise, figures out what to do next. Now remember, Blade is still in an okay spot. The Warden is getting up higher in level. The Mountain King only sitting at level 3, but still a force to be reckoned with. And as long as the game continues to go 2 bases versus 1, Dise is not going to have the larger army. All right, couple of peasants now working their way back, perhaps off over here. The Goblin Shredder should be dropped inside this location, and then perhaps try to clear out some of these trees again. Mountain King, Clarity Potion, Potion of Healing, going to go ahead and, the Mountain King playing a bit of a solo game. On Tyrannus Strands, we've seen a lot of games where the Warden is just a one-woman army, being able to take down so many units, putting pressure, and then causing the tech and getting into bears or other higher tier 3 units. It seems like that is the strategy that Blade is employing here, using that Mountain King and just trying to get as far as or get as much mileage out that he can. All right, Mountain King is sitting at level 3, takes a Stormbolt onto a Wisp, and he's just constantly wondering where this Tree of Life is. The Tree of Life actually built off to the north. It's going to walk its way over. Meanwhile, the Warden dives in. Goblin Shredder is there. Warden is just having a field day here. Gonna cloak of, or well, gonna Shadow Meld, get to level 5, and then blink away, purposely using a Moonstone in order to unlock that Shadow Meld, be able to Shadow Meld Fan of Knives, Shadow Meld, and then do it again, effectively taking down many of these peasants here, all under the effects of that anti-magic potion, preventing the drainage of mana. Very well thought out. And now that we see the Warden is out at level 5, the Panda says it is now my turn to try and do some creeping. This is some great play by Dise. Just playing a brilliant game as the Blood Mage is also out on the battlefield. Are we going to see some Siphon Mana? Stormbolt, Siphon Mana. Warden is, however, going to try to go after this Blood Mage. A Blood Mage trying to get away. Blood Mage does have a Potion of Healing. There's Breath of Fire, and there's a Blink off to the front. Is the Goblin Zeppelin going to pick up? Yes, picks up in time. Now backs away as the Mountain King now heads off to the north, perhaps trying to clear up to this Tree of Life, but that is not going to go well. Perhaps being able to stop or delay this entangling of the gold mine. All right, more armor upgrades getting underway. Are we getting right? No, we are getting into air units. So Griffin Aviary going into air units. I believe Animal War Training is already done, but the Warden is just absolutely on a tear, taking down so many of these peasants. Goblin Zeppelin probably needed in both locations, to try and pick up those units. Dragon Hawk Rider, 725 hit points. Now on the move. There's another Stormbolt there. The Mountain King trying to get to level 4. One Stormbolt on a Wisp at a time, as the Dragon Hawk Riders now make their way through, perhaps trying to figure out, are there any other Wisps they can try and take out. All right, triple Dragon Hawk Riders. Was it triple Griffin Aviary? Yeah, so triple Griffin Aviary. We're now at 66 over 76 supply. Breath of Fire, however, from the Brewmaster, that could potentially spell problems. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto the Brewmaster? Yes, we are. That is going to be a lot of damage, and the Brewmaster falls at level 2. All right. Potion of Healing now transferred over to the Mountain King. All right, gonna go ahead and bash, try to finish up some of these additional units here. Are we gonna see a Stormbolt? Yes, we are. Druid of the Claw gonna get taken out here. We should be seeing some Siphon Mana into the Mountain King. This Druid of the Claw actually gonna end up surviving. There's some mana into the Mountain King. Is he gonna get to level 4? Are we gonna see a Stormbolt? Yes, we do, but it is blinked dodged, as the Dragon Hawk Rider, well, Dragon Hawk Riders try to go after the units here. Are we going to see a bash? No, there's another blink again. A little bit of a long-distance attack. I believe that attack does miss, as we're looking at level 2 weapon upgrades. All right, Healing Spray to try and counteract the Fan of Knives and Breath of Fire. There's some Siphon Mana, and, well, the Warden backs away once more. All right, what's going to happen here? Well, Dryads are going to be easy pickings here. One Dryad down, another Dryad down. Staff of Preservation, is it going to, or no Staff of Sanctuary. There's another Fan of Knives, but the Dryads are just getting cleaned up here because of that armor difference. Warden still looking to engage. There's another beautiful Fan of Knives. And, well, damage is still racking up. Stormbolt onto the Warden, but anti-magic potion preventing that there. A little bit more heals. Mountain King playing a very dangerous game. Perhaps needs to buy a scroll of healing to try and counteract all of those Fan of Knives as well. All right, a little bit of attack. There's a Fan of Knives. Are we going to see a little bit of damage pushing back the other way? Mountain King getting mana. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire pushing back. Healing Spray. Stormbolt is going to hit. It hits, but only, only showing no real damage here. All right, coming back through. We need to start Stormbolting units. However, Staff of Preservation means any unit that is Stormbolted will be the high priority target to try and Staff of Preservation back out. All right, more Fan of Knives, anti-magic potion preventing the Siphon Mana, perhaps needing on the Brewmaster. There's a Breath of Fire again. The Scroll of Healing was already used. There's more Healing Spray. Both sides continuing the fight here. A lot of damage going across the board. Where is the damage going? Mountain King sitting at level 4, down to 127 hit points. There's a Breath of Fire. Stormbolt onto the Warden. Warden gets teleported back home, and the Mountain King is still under a sea of all of these units. Difficult to focus fire any of those units. More Healing Spray could be added in. They're going to Scroll of Town Portal back home. get some clarity potions, use clarity potions, heal up with healing spray, and perhaps move out once more. 79 over 82 supply. Staff of teleportation to, well, head on over here. There's a scroll of regeneration. And here we are, here we go. Warden's gonna come in, blink, fan of knives, and are we gonna see any damage? There's a Stormbolt, however, onto the Warden. Warden taking quite a bit of damage. Siphon Man trying to get away. Where's that Warden going? Invul Potion now trying to head back here. Mountain King unable to get another Stormbolt off, as we're looking at, well, clearing of this creep camp again. Mountain King does spot this Warden. Is the Warden going to try to dive in? There's a little, well, right angle turn onto the Warden, but the Warden able to essentially dodge that once again. Alchemist now sitting at level 2, trying to perhaps go after additional targets. A little bit of poison damage over time. There's another fan of knives. There's a Stormbolt. And the Warden dodges have been absolutely clean, as we see, well, Invul Potion trading for a handful of well, Dragonhawk riders. There's another blink away. Mountain King trying to Stormbolt, and this Warden is starting to run low on mana. Mountain King trying to, well, close out the distance, unable to do so, and that Mountain King really needs some more clarity potions. Picks up a Staff of Sanctuary, and should be Staff of Sanctuarying those low hit point units now. All right. Not quite sure what that little bit of lag was there. You know, this game, the original version of this game, over 20 years old. You'd assume even my 10-year-old computer could run a 20-year-old game, unless somehow WarCraft 3 Reforged made it less efficient. Anyways, Dise once more repairing this entangled gold mine. Gonna jump back inside again. Both sides trying to figure out what to do as the Warden dives on in once more. Are we going to see a Goblin Zeppelin pickup? Yes, we are. However, the Warden can easily just attack the Goblin Zeppelin now. That's going to be quite a bit of damage. Is the Warden going to try to blink across the other way as the Goblin Zeppelin says, you know, I too can fly across this river. Meanwhile, Mountain King purposely backing away, trying to allow the Goblin Alchemist and the Blood Mage to get to level 3. Healing Wards, the item drop here. That's going to be extremely helpful in the battle, as the Goblin Alchemist should be able to pick up that Tome of Strength +2 and, well, deal a little bit more damage as well. Coming back down to the south here, Warden, there's a Fan of Knives giving level 6, and are we going to see an Avatar of Vengeance? No, we are not. Warden now making its way back off to the north. We see a little bit of damage here. Perhaps some healing spray could be enough to get these units going once again. All right, Healing Ward is down. Dragonhawk Riders are 2-1 upgraded. Another Dragonhawk Rider getting trained up, only 2-1 upgraded, not getting another round of gold. As we're looking at a couple of illusions getting ready to make a move. There is True Shot Aura on that Mountain King. Perhaps should be given to a different hero, as we're going to be looking at it a fight here. All right, Potion of Invulnerability stopping the Stormbolt again. Both sides still fighting, draining mana, and now Anti-Magic Potion stopping the Warden. I don't see an Avatar of Vengeance, though. But then again, since the entire army of Blade is air, there are no corpses. So that may actually be part of the strategy. There's another round of Fan of Knives here. Are we going to see some more damage going through? There's a Stormbolt. There's the Avatar of Vengeance down out now. Mountain King trying to save units. Perhaps Staff of Preservation, low hit point, Griffin Rider trying to retreat to the back. There goes another pop as the Warden is still taking down units. Stormbolt onto the Warden, but the Warden may have done enough damage. The army of Blade simply just falling out of the sky, as Blade now needs to use a Scroll of Town Portal to get away. After that bit of a bloodbath, we're looking at 52 supply with no other Griffins being trained up back at home. Meanwhile, 63 supply, Dise with a 10 supply advantage. All right. Opportunities, the hero levels really shining in this game right now. This level 4, level 3, level 2 combination just not able to go up against a level 6 Warden and I believe a level 3 Panda? Level 4 Panda. Alright. On the bottom left-hand side of the map now, Dryads quickly going after the rogues here. Goblin Alchemist trying to come over. We're seeing a little bit of poke and damage, slowing down all of these units again. Meanwhile, what is happening here? Spirit of Vengeance just poking down a scout farm, as the Dryads are wondering where they can move to next. Meanwhile, a lone Dragonhawk Rider trying to play the harassment game still. And where are these units? Where is the army of Blade? Yeah, where is Blade's 47 supply army? Oh, did he lose even more to Phantom Knives? I'm trying to keep track of the mini-map with a Warden, trying to keep track of all the action. My apologies for missing something, but a lot more Dragonhawk Riders were taken down. Hence, the Brewmaster being that much closer to level 5. Dise is now definitely in the driver's seat here. Warden trying to do a little bit of fighting in the center. Staff of Sanctuaries trying to save some more units. And, well, you're going to look at the Mountain King able to staff another, I believe, yeah, the Goblin Shredder back home, as the Warden now going to be protected by an army of Dryads. All right. No, did armor upgrade complete? Difficult to say. Yes, 3-2 upgrades now complete on those Dragonhawk Riders. Low hit point Dragonhawk Rider isn't going to be able to... Nope, not able to stay alive. The Dryad's able to pick off a unit in transit. There's a Staff of Preservation saving a unit there. Guard towers poking Dryads as they're making their way through. We're going to see one Dryad get taken down. Staff of Teleportation inbound on that Warden. Warden's going to dive Phantom Knives again and pushing back the other way. 56 supply. Draining mana out of the Warden is going to be key here. Mountain King taking quite a bit of damage. He's trying to retreat to the very far back. He's going to perhaps try and use the Scroll of Regeneration here, heal back up, and then maybe also have to buy a Potion of Healing to stay on top. 65 supply here. Dragonhawk Riders are trying to hide, going up against 79 supply. Well, Dise up to the max of low upkeep and doesn't want to train up any more units. These Dryads are upgraded 2-2 as well. Are we going to see a Dragonhawk Rider get, well, nope, the Dragonhawk Rider is not poking down at that Dryad in transition. The Warden is pretty much saying, I challenge you, as we're going to see some Siphon mana purposely being forced to blink away again. Brewmaster still full on mana. Dryads poking apart this barracks here. And we're looking for some sort of, well, massing of units by Blade. Blade has, well, 3 Dragonhawk Riders in training, 6 in the back here. And he needs to get all of these units together to try and fight, but not overlap them too much. Otherwise, Phantom Knives is just going to be far too effective. All right, are we going to see some Drunken Haze, Siphon Mana, Cyclone, Wand of the Wind being used on the heroes to try and neutralize them? All right, there's some Healing Spray. There's some Banish onto the Warden. We should be looking at some Siphon Mana as well. Both sides still poking apart. Level 7 now on the Warden here. No Avatar of Vengeance. Its mana is a little bit low as the, well, Militia are now joining in on the battle. Brewmaster down to 200 hit points. Is the Mountain King going to be able to get off a Stormbolt here? That is the question, as the Brewmaster is still fighting off to the side. There's the Staff of Preservation. There's the Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. Druids of the Claw are falling, and now Blood Mage gets to level 4. 58 supply going up against 54. Dise narrowly able to escape. Perhaps he was trying to bait that there. You can see that the Rogue is actually engaging against this Tree of Eternity. And the Rogue, the Tree of Eternity, will have to entangle that gold mine, and then is it gonna fight back against that Rogue? Yes, it will. All right, that's gonna delay the entangling of that gold mine. Wait, nope. Why did he uproot? Oh, it wasn't close enough. All right, wasn't close enough to spot the gold mine since it was nightfall. All right, there's the entangling now. I wasn't sure that you could actually entangle a gold mine while attacking. Normally when you're building something, but I guess entangling doesn't count as training or building anything. All right, bunch of detonations across units here. Units trying to retreat back. Goblin Shredder joining in on the battle as well. Mountain King, are we going to see a Stormbolt? There's some Siphon Mana. There's Anti-Magic Potion already, and here we are off to the races in terms of damage. Dryad getting taken down. Healing Spray. Both sides. Avatar of Vengeance is out as well. That Mountain King trying to fight back the other way. This is going to be a weird spot as the Avatar of Vengeance does have corpses to use as Dryads fall. Mountain King going to continue to try and fight its way through, down to 288 hit points. The Mountain King has been playing a very dangerous game throughout this match. It's just trying to, well, get by with barely enough hit points, but at some point it has to come to an end. As we see a Stormbolt go down again, Mountain King down to 130 hit points. There's an Invul Potion trying to stay alive. Are we going to see some more Healing Spray? We need to see some Healing Spray onto to that Mountain King. Otherwise, he's not going to be looking very good. Up to 284 hit points again, as the Mountain King currently low on mana. Blood Mage out of mana. Dryas still continuing to poke down some of these units. Goblin Shredder now down. Mountain King trying to bash down some units. There's a bash onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster down to 200 hit points. 170. Is he going to fall? There's another bash. Brewmaster gets saved at the last possible moment as the Mountain King comes back the other way, trying to finish off these Dryads. The Mountain King is back. Oh, remember, the Tree of Eternity is right off to the north. Didn't get out of combat range that much. Mountain King has been playing this dangerous game here, as the Spirit of Vengeances are now a problem as well. They are invulnerable, able to deal decent amounts of damage, and could perhaps pick off a Mountain King here. Alchemist now looking to retreat all the way back again. Brewmaster survives the battle on dangerous low hit points as they now all retreat. 41 supply now. More Dragonhawk Riders are going to get trained up. Scroll of Regeneration will be needed. Clarity Potion. Staff of Sanctuary. Is there a unit recharging back at home? No, there is not. The Goblin Zeppelin now going to get taken down. All right. Panda comes back into the fight, ready to bring the hurt, now sitting at level 6. All right, meanwhile, low hit point Peasants trying to retreat back. Triple Dragonhawk Riders, they need to not rally straight over this army, or they're just going to get lost in transit. Mountain King shows up to the party. Anti-magic potion used. Dryads trying to pick off other units. There's a big breath of fire across those units there, as we're looking at one Dragonhawk Rider still trying to stay alive. All right, big AoE damage from the Panda, and also that Warden. Phantom Knives and Breath of Fire really racking up the damage here, and I think Dise, as long as it's... Oh, that blink, a split second late there, trying to go after more units. There is a Phantom Knives. There's a Potion of Healing. Mountain King trying to get in some lucky bashes. There's a Cloak of Shadow, or there's a Shadow Meld right there as Daybreak is about to finish here. Blood Mage falls. Mountain King gonna fall, and that will be the game. Blade unable to outlast and battle against the now level 8 Warden and the level 6 Panda. Level 6 Panda never even used Earth, Storm, and Fire. Found that Breath of Fire against all of those air units was more than capable, or more than enough to shut down those units there. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.